Hello everybody, today in Terraria, we beat the Brain of Cthulu. This video is for the purpose of letting you know what it takes to beat this boss, and test how easily you can do it. This boss takes about an hour and a half of preparation, which involves getting the armor, weapons, and materials to summon it. The loadout I went with was decidedly random, and pretty flimsy, which indicates the ease at which you can beat the boss. The materials you need to create the Bloody Spine, which is the item you need to summon it, are 15 vertebrae and 30 vicious powder. To get the vertebrae, you simply need to kill mobs in the Crimson, and for the vicious powder, you need 6 vicious mushrooms, which grow almost anywhere on the surface of the Crimson. The issue with the mushrooms, though, is the growth time, and how annoying they are to collect. You can get them with the swing of virtually any sword or pickaxe, but they grow slowly, and they aren't very common. I had to take 3 trips in 15-minute intervals to get enough mushrooms to craft the spine. Admittedly, my Crimson was a little small, but put that to scale. Each mushroom is equivalent to 5 powder, so you will need 6 mushrooms. You can turn the mushrooms into powder at an alchemy station, which is made by putting a glass bottle on top of a workbench. Glass is obtainable by collecting sand from the desert or the beach and smelting it in a furnace to make glass, then craft the bottle on a workbench. You will then need a crimson altar to craft a spine from the materials. These naturally spawn underground anywhere, but most often in the crimson. There's another way to summon it that I'll go into later. I built a pretty basic and admittedly shitty arena to fight the boss. It was 3 floors of wooden platforms that went about 70 blocks. You can use the Bloody Spine anywhere in the Crimson and the boss will spawn. I beat the boss fairly easily with the Crimtane bow. Yeah, you know the one with like the blood name. Flaming arrows and like a platinum sword. Dude, I don't know, the boss fight was so boring. So easy, man. My total defense was 13, and my friend was swinging a frost boomerang and had cactus armor. So, how that works is the boss scales only the boss's health. The boss's health scales based on how many people are fighting it. So, in this fight, the boss's health was multiplied by 2, and yet it continued to be an easy fight, even though my friend died really early in the fight. I mean, later on, I tried to stall for him, but I got really bored. So, I took a gamble and I started the second phase, but it worked out. The first phase involves a bunch of little circle minions attacking you, and is in my opinion the more lethal of the two. You can't attack the brain during this phase, and you can only hit the minions. The brain will also teleport around. Once you defeat the minions, the brain will open up and attack you directly. It will also speed up the teleportation. I hit it only with my bow and did substantial damage, and survived with a decent amount of health. I suggest a cloud in a bottle, Hermes boots, and a grappling hook for mobility purposes. Teleportation can really throw you off, and it hits fairly hard, so be prepared to move around. Fuck! I was able to complete the fight with only 280 health, and did not use any magic in the fight. The drops I received include Crimtane, tissue samples, about 10 gold, and a Brain of Cthulu trophy. You can get other drops, but they don't really matter because they're both pets. Now the other way you can summon this boss is from breaking 3 Crimson Hearts. These are heart-like objects in the underground Crimson. So, to get what you want, you need to break Cthulhu's heart 3 times. Yeah, I heard he likes ice cream, so try that. When you break them, you'll receive various loot. You can get the Undertaker, a somewhat decent gun, a heart pet, which is actually super useful as it provides light, the Crimson Rod, which is a pretty bad staff that does AoE damage and it costs mana to use, and a Rotten Fork, which is a half-decent spear for that time in the game. Spear! Spear! When 3 of them are broken, this boss will spawn underground. I wouldn't suggest summoning it this way unless you want to get your ass ravenously eaten, or you have full Crimtane gear. It's difficult to fight the boss without an open area because of the teleport skill. It'll end up teleporting into places you can't hit it. If you want, you can take the work to build an arena underground for it. You won't have the pickaxe, so you have to use explosives, and I don't think it's very effective at that point either. Breaking the hearts for the loot they offer isn't a terrible idea, just make sure you only break 2. So, this boss isn't very hard to beat. Just have a decent arena set up and make sure to bring a half-decent bow. Thank you for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you another day.